Okay, so we are going to explain how this architecture works, and we are going to show a practical example running all this architecture that it is described in my article about the array G architecture with n8n plus PostgreSQL with pgvector using Ollama Gemma4 on AWS EC2. Okay, so first, I have one AWS EC2 number one, where I have a Docker using n8n, where I have the ingestion workflow. Here, I extract the PDF text, I clean and normalize the text, chunk the text, and then I call the embedding model to the AC2, where I have an embedding server. Okay, on this same EC2 number one, I have another n8n workflow where it receives the question from the user, and then it creates and build the content, and then it called the Gemma4, which is on the EC2 number 2, and using Ollama here, Ollama, it is running the embedding server and also the model Gemma4 model. Okay, so I'm going to show you first I am going to show you how it is working from my command prompt, how I test the embedding server. Here it is the test from the embedding server. You can see that I will show you the IP address. The IP address, it is this, and the embedding server is running. This is the IP address, the 160. This is the IP address exactly, and this is a G6E2X large server. It is a quite expensive server and it consumes a lot of resources, but I am using this server to run the Gemma4 model. Okay. Next, I am going to show you the test for the Gemma4 the Gemma4 server. This is I am sending hello Gemma4, and then I will get the response from the Gemma4 server, which is in AWS. Okay, so here I have it's nice to meet you and everything. This is the response from the Gemma4. So now we're ready to run the first part, where I am going to run the ingestion workflow. Here I am going to send this PDF. Okay, I'm going to send this PDF to the server, and this PDF will be ingested inside the database. This PDF will go to the Postgres pgvector database using this ingestion workflow, and the all the chunks and the vector information will come from the embedding server that is running on this server. Okay, so I am going to run this workflow. Okay, so explaining this workflow, we can see that this HTTP request call the server in the embeddings here. This is the server, and it is calling the embedding server on the EC2 number 2. Okay, located here in the AWS architecture. Okay, so I am going to call this I'm going to execute this workflow to do the embedding of this PDF file. I am going to run this ingestion workflow using the embedding server that I have on the AWS EC2. Okay. Okay, so we have a success execution of the workflow. We can see in the this is where I store the chunks from the embedding that I get from the EC2. Okay, and here I have two, and these are the chunks from the PDF. Okay, where it says owner's manual and X closed couple motor driven, which was exactly the PDF that I ingest inside the system. Okay, so this is what I just executed. It was the ingestion workflow using the embedding server running on a Docker on the AWS EC2, which is running here, and it is a G6E2X large architecture. Okay, so now I'm going to make a question to this PDF. I'm going to execute the other part. I'm going to make I'm going to make a question to this to using Gemma4, which is running inside Ollama, and I'm going to send a question using this n8n workflow to the Postgres pgvector. Okay, and all the interpretation will be done by the Gemma4 model. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to execute this part. Okay, I am going to send a question to this document, a very easy question, just as an example, and this will call the server that is running on the EC2 in the EC2 number 2, which is running with Gemma4, as we saw before how it is running. Okay, it will question the Postgres pgvector database, and here I have the response. This is the workflow that it is executing, and here it is where we can see that it is calling the Gemma4 running on this instance. Okay, this is the same IP address, and when I asked what is the email of storage of Mexico, this when I execute this workflow and I run what is the email of storage Mexico, that it is on this document. Okay, this document, it is stored on the pgvector database. Okay, all this document, and here I have the information. Even you can see this is the email. It is right here, and when I ask this, I get the workflow was executed successfully, and I get the email for Restaurate Mexico. It is infoventas@penter.com. Okay, so this completes all the circle of this architecture using Ollama and Gemma4, and with an embedded server also running on this AWS EC2.